Hey, konnichiwa, minasan, it's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. I'm here again with another review for you. Are you Genki today? I hope you are. I'm feeling pretty Genki. I wanted to review Ultimate X-Men issue 2, mostly because, you know, I'm a big Japanophile. So anything with Japanese themes, I'm here to try it. So, of course, this is written, drawn, coloured by Peach Momoko. Let me just check the credits. It's got script adaptation by Zach Davison. So I guess that means translation. And letters are by VC's Travis Lanham. So, Peach Momoko, what do you think? Did you buy or did you read Ultimate X-Men issue 1? I've seen a lot of positive reviews, but I've also seen some people saying, what the heck is this? You know, this is not X-Men. You've got Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Black Panther, which are pretty much following the traditional, you know, style of those stories. This is something very different. This has been compared to manga, of course, and even Junji Ito Light, like the Japanese horror, which I like about it, by the way. But yeah, I'm always fair. I want to give things a chance, and I'm not a huge X-Men expert. I don't know that much about them. I've read the Grant Morrison New X-Men back in the day. I did read Jonathan Hickman's X-Men when it was launched, you know, Hox and Pox and all that. And I've kind of jumped in and out of it. So just to let you know, I do have bias for Japanese themes, Japanese art. So you can take my review with a pinch of salt. But I say, I'm not saying this is amazing. I'm just saying that I enjoyed it and it was decent. But what I'll do with this review, more than usual, I'm going to go through the whole issue. So just warn you there. This is a full spoiler-filled issue. I'm going to go through it, talk about what I like about it, show you some of the art, and yeah, give some of the, maybe a little bit of the background to some of the Japanese things like in regular life here to do with school and work. So it might be interesting. Well, I hope it is. But yeah, as I say, so there are spoilers, but if you want to see what's inside, please keep watching. Here we go. Here's the main cover for Ultimate X-Men issue 2 by Peach Momoko. The background I've used is from Peach Momoko's regular variant cover. She's actually got a 1 in 10 incentive variant cover as well. But yeah, so let's have a look inside the issue. Let's see. Is this an X-Men comic, or is it more of a Japanese manga, Junji Ito style, light horror, Japanese horror comic? First of all, I want to make clear that this is a very fast read. I actually went back and I've counted the pages, and there are 21 pages of story, 21 art pages, but it goes really fast, so that's a warning. And yeah, a lot of silent panels, a lot of visual storytelling from Momoko. We open with Hisako, Hi-chan. She's lying on a bed and she's looking up at the ceiling where she sees what appears to be a crack, or is it? And we get another page of pure visual storytelling. A close-up of her eye. The crack seems to be growing, spreading black tendrils. Then, weirdly, it's on her cheek. Now, at first I thought this was a dream, but this appears to be a flashback. She's talking with Tsubasa-kun. Tsubasa, sadly, he was a boy who took his own life because he was being bullied at school. Again, we have very minimal dialogue here, just a couple of word balloons and a lot of art, a lot of watercolour style Momoko art. What do you think of the art style? Do you like it? Does it feel like an X-Men book to you? Here we have Tsubasa telling her that he doesn't want to go back to school at all. And she takes his meaning as, oh wow, that's really cool. It's like punk rock. But of course she's regretting it with hindsight. Should she have said something else? Should she have tried to talk him out of it? I never thought he would. Then it's left to our imagination. But then it appears it is a dream after all, because within this memory or dream, this weird black opening eye appears. Well, it's a red eye. It looks like a flower. The pupil looks like a weird flower. Very Japanese style. Someone watching her, maybe? Huh? A dream? Then she opens her hand and she's got a screwed up piece of paper in it. What could that be? Then we get a very Japanese scene here. Hisako's mum's asking her to pick up some eggs on the way home from motorcycle riding class. Don't forget to bring a bag so they don't charge you for plastic. That's right, folks. You got to pay for your plastic bags in Japan. I'm not sure what this scream is here, this yag. I'm not sure who is. Is it Hisako? Is she frustrated about something? Anyway, she's taking a break. She's sat down on some steps. We can see the bag of eggs by her. Then a figure appears out of nowhere. Hey, it's you, right? The girl from the car wreck a few weeks ago. Now, I don't know how she knows that, because Hisako's identity was never shown on the TV. Hisako denies it. Not me, you've got the wrong person. Got to say, I love the design here of May-chan, Maystorm. Look at this Japanese style school uniform. It's kind of traditional, but also she's kind of punked it up a bit, Momoko-san. Pretty cool, yeah. What do you think? The sailor style shirt or blouse there. The girl introduces herself as May, and she asks for Hisako's story. Then suddenly she tells her, I'll show you a secret to prove that you can trust me. Pulls out what appears to be a toy dog, is it? A battery-powered dog, but she tells Hisako she sings even though she doesn't have any batteries. Cute, huh? Hisako's like, this girl is weird. But maybe she's weird enough to think I'm not losing it. Then she thrusts this screwed up piece of paper at May and says, wanna come with me? There's a message on this paper, hand-lettered. It says, I'm waiting for you in the science lab of the abandoned school. Come to me. Come. What about you? I don't know about you, but I'd be like, no thanks, I don't think I will go to the abandoned school science lab. Especially with someone saying, come to me. Pretty creepy. So they head off to the school. Well, suddenly they're there. You know, it's all very fast moving, this issue. We got May or Hisako saying, I thought this would be crummier. But the door's open, even though the school has supposedly been closed for years. Hisako sees a dark shadow at one of the windows. May's already almost inside. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Then she asks, what's the connection with this school and the car crash anyway? Which is a bit of a weird question to ask, you know, came out of nowhere. Like why did the car crash lead Hisako to go to this school? It's not clear, but she says, bit of an explaining word bubble here. I got a similar note right before the accident telling me to go to a temple. If you read last issue, you know what she's talking about. Hisako continues, when I got there, this creepy shadow guy started talking about vengeance. Now that's a story, says May. A teacher died. I'm hoping I can stop it before it claims another victim. So we're kind of getting the plot explained to us here, aren't we? What do you think? It's useful to kind of catch people up, but I don't know, it feels a bit clunky. Then Hisako says, I probably should have told you this before I got you involved. You must think I'm crazy. And May replies, are you kidding? You're like a superhero. That's so cool. Great answer, but like, how does she know? A superhero, you know, she's just met her. She hasn't seen any of her powers, doesn't know anything about her. Bit strange, but anyway, maybe I'm being too picky. Walking down the corridor of the abandoned school, they step on something squishy. Ooh, what's that? Looks like an animal toy, a stuffed animal. Ooh, says Hisako, how can you touch it? And why is it here? Then from behind them, it appears to be either security guard or a cop. Hey, you kids can't be in here. What are you doing? Making a ghost video? Then we get a tribute to Paul Neary, 1949-2024. Great artist. Tributes from Alan Davis, Liam Sharp. Back to the story. The two girls and the security guard, they've opened this door and look at what's inside here. Very strange. There are stuffed animals hanging from the ceiling with Japanese script, like notes attached to them. They're probably the names of the bullies, I guess. Candles are burning. There are many pictures pinned up. And then, hello, Hisako. A shadow figure, a weird black shadowy figure, tells Hisako, thank you for accepting my invitation once again. You know the three boys who bullied Tsubasa? You won't see them around anymore. I wanted to tell you. I see you brought a friend. It's him, says Hisako, after a bit of time has passed. She turns round to the guard. Sir, he's a killer. But the guard isn't a guard anymore. And if you notice back in when you first saw him appear, let me just scroll back the pages. The whole time, the guard's face is kind of grey, light grey, whereas the two girls have got some colour to them. He's all grey, isn't he? Grey? Am I talking about myself?
He swaps his long sword for a Wakizashi, so...
Who's a killer? Says the guard, and his face unravels and appears to be a load of worms. My God, one of those worms look like the letter P above his nose, or what's left of his nose. Run! Shouts Hisako. They run off down the corridor, but May turns round and faces the creature. May, what are you... And she seems to use a wind blast, some kind of wind power, to hopefully blow the worms apart. How did you do that? Asks Hisako. Look closely at the top panel, you can see within the wind powers there are like green leaves appearing. But the shadowy figure just bursts through the worms, seems to ignore the wind power and comes tearing at them. "We can't stop it," says May. Hisako reaches into her bag. Is she gonna grab an egg? She screams, "Go! Away!" Next page we see the armor power shielding Hisako. Now it's not clear where this came from. Did she have the locket, the magical locket in that bag? It seems a bit strange that she was reaching in the bag for something. I'm sure this armor power is not powered by eggs, but hey, what do I know? Crack go the eggs. "Oh shoot," says Hisako. Then we get this single page here, just 2 images. You see the school, the abandoned school, and then you see what looks like a modern version of a Japanese house. There appear to be white flames or smoke or something emanating from the top of the buildings. It's a nice mirrored image there, which leads us inside this house. And believe it or not, inside a Japanese closet in a room, there's somebody with what appears to be a bucket on his head. And he's surrounded by all kinds of images, writing, script, pinned up all over the place. He takes off the helmet, the bucket, and it's a guy with glasses. "Why?" he says. Opens the door of the closet where he's been sat inside, you know, like you do in Japan. Not a lot of space in rooms. You got to sit in closets sometimes. "That girl, I know her face from somewhere. Hisako." And if you look, it appears he's got, is that a high school uniform jacket hung up next to the closet? So is he a high school student? He's got a photo or a picture of Hisako, it appears, within his weird collection of papers. Then we jump to the Irodori High School entrance ceremony, which are huge things in Japan. They love their ceremonies. The entrance ceremonies, the graduation ceremonies, starting new job ceremonies, farewell teacher ceremonies. Man, I've been here for like over 20 years and I must have been to hundreds of ceremonies. We get some catch up in the narrative box here. It's Hisako. "I saw it on the news the next morning. 3 students were found hanging at our old middle school. I wonder if I'm cursed and going to die too." But then someone goes, "Hey, psst, hey, it's May-chan. May." She's delighted that her and Hisako appear to be classmates. She asks for a chat ID. "Let's link." Hisako tells her she doesn't really use social media. Very wise. Then she says, "I should probably introduce myself properly." Now this is Japan, right? And it's unusual that they've left it until the end of the story, the end of the comic, to formally introduce themselves. "I'm Mei Igarashi. Hisako Ichiki, nice to meet you. Hi-chan, cool." Now, for people who know Japanese, they'll be familiar with chan, but chan is like a suffix you put after a friend's name, and it's a term of endearment. It's often, well, more popularly used for girls than boys, but right, really small boys like toddlers, you can use chan, so it could be like, "Hey, Gray-chan." But yeah, Hi-chan or Hisako-chan, so you can shorten the name, Hi-chan. So May can be May-chan. "Hi-chan, it's been a long time since anyone called me that." Then they talk about the news this morning. "That was a crazy story. Do you think it's that shadow guy?" "Suzuku," which means to be continued. Dun dun dun. Then at the end we get a little bit of an art sketch page from Peach Momoko. It's the Rikashitsu. Rikashitsu is the science room. Anatomy and science classroom. And she writes a little note, "There are many ghost stories about the anatomy and science classroom. Maybe because there are so many dead things in the room. The skeleton model, of course. Formalin preserved specimens. Ooh, oh dear." And that's it. We get a preview of the next issue's cover. It says on sale in April. April? That's this month. And also we see covers for Ultimate Black Panther 3 and Ultimate Spider-Man 4. Can't wait for Spider-Man. And there you have it, that was Ultimate X-Men issue 2. So, for my score, as I say earlier on in the review, I'm not saying this is a fantastic issue. It did feel a bit rushed. It felt like a lot was going on. It was a very fast read. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Now, let's have a look at some of the variant covers. This first one is by Peach Momoko herself, and I used this blown up like as a background for my story summary. So yeah, nice cover. I do like this one. Look at those scary red eyes in the background, and a great close-up of May-chan, Maystorm. This one is the Mike Choi variant, and it's another Maystorm, May-chan cover. From the side, looking a bit punky there, a bit punk rock. What do you think? It looks like pencil crayon. I love that kind of light, delicate colouring there. And the third regular variant is a Betsy Cola variant. That's right, folks, Betsy Cola. Yeah, pretty cool image of Hisako here and the armor power, like engulfing her, shielding her. Yeah, I do like it. I like the colors and I like the way they've drawn a face. And just one more variant I want to show. This is a 1 in 10 variant and it's Peach Momoko's character designs for May. So yeah, what do you think of those? Which one would you choose? Or do you like the regular cover? As always, I'd love to hear from you. Do drop a comment, let me know what you think. Even if you hated the issue, please tell me why. And as always, I do reply to comments. So, this has been Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. Yes, the Japanese bias is here. I can't help it. I'm saying I hope to see you in a future video. Mata ne.